Pride is the silent assassin of marriage. It hides behind confidence, disguises itself as strength, and then cuts your covenant from within. Season 1 forged the foundation for a strong, godly marriage. Patience, kindness, selflessness. Virtues every covenant husband must not only build, but practice daily. Together, we learn to recognize the silent killers of marriage, to lead with steadiness when our wives felt distant, and to provide not just physical security, but emotional and spiritual covering. But a forge isn't only about creating steel. It's about shaping that steel into weapons for the fight ahead. Because once the blade is sharp, the enemy comes. This season, we expose the enemies of covenant love. Assassins that creep in quietly, steal trust, and kill intimacy. And the very first enemy we must face is pride. The Love Dare said it clearly. Almost nothing is impossible to any couple if they are willing to put aside their pride and humbly receive guidance and correction. Pride whispers, "I'm right." Pride demands, "She owes me." And pride digs trenches in the heart and dares your wife to cross them. But humility tears down walls and builds bridges.
Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16:18.
Pride is subtle. It doesn't always shout. Most of the time, it whispers. It whispers, "You don't need to say sorry. She should apologize first." It whispers, "You've done enough. She should be grateful for that." And it whispers, "Don't show weakness. Don't admit fault. Hold your ground." But here's the truth. Steel that refuses to bend will shatter. Pride is the silent assassin of covenant love. It poisons apologies, blinds us to our wife's needs, and makes us unteachable, unapproachable even. The world calls pride manly, a mark of strength. But in reality, it is weakness. Pride is nothing more than insecurity dressed in armor. It separates us from God and hardens our hearts toward the very woman we vowed to cherish. That's why pride is such a formidable enemy. Pride is our Goliath, towering, taunting, daring us to fight on its terms. But like David, we don't win by swinging harder or standing taller. We win by trusting God to aim the stone. Humility is the sling that drops the giant. When we kneel before God, He gives us the strength to strike where pride is most vulnerable and to protect the covenant that pride would otherwise destroy.
When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. Proverbs 11:2.
Brother, don't miss this. Pride doesn't just kill intimacy. It kills your legacy. If you let it rule your marriage, it won't just take your wife's trust. It will rob your children's example, your household's peace, and your testimony before God. So stay with me, because this enemy has to be slain. I'll be straight with you. Pride has been one of my fiercest enemies. I can remember moments at the dinner table when my tone cut sharper than I intended. Or nights when silence built a wall between us so thick you could feel it in the air. And instead of softening, I dug in deeper. I told myself, "I'm right. She's overreacting. If I give in, I'll lose ground." But pride has never once protected me. It stole from me. It stole intimacy, leaving my wife feeling unseen. It stole peace, turning our home into a battlefield of silence. And it stole the chance to heal, to rebuild what my words had broken. And here's what I finally learned. The strongest man isn't the one who never bows. It's the man who bows first. First to God, and then to his wife. Because humility doesn't weaken you. It sets you free. And in that freedom, clothed in the armor of God, you find true and lasting strength. strength that covers not only your heart, but your covenant. But let me be clear, this isn't a battle I fought once and walked away victorious. Pride is a constant enemy lurking in the shadows. It creeps in daily, in the small moments, in the quiet thoughts, and in the way we want to defend instead of repent. That's why we can never lay down our swords and shields. This is a fight every one of us faces, and we face it shoulder to shoulder, as brothers in arms.
God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6.
Here's what makes pride so dangerous. It hides. It convinces you you're strong, when really, you're brittle. Pride doesn't just block reconciliation. It builds walls where there should be bridges. Pride refuses correction. Pride turns small disagreements into huge wars. And pride blinds you to your own failures while simply magnifying hers. And the more you listen to its whispers, the more it isolates you, until you're a lone soldier on the battlefield, surrounded but unprotected. But humility? Humility is a different weapon altogether. It forges trust. It restores what pride breaks. It disarms the enemy by saying, "I was wrong, please forgive me." That's not weakness. That's covenant strength. That's armor steel, not brittle iron. And don't miss this. Pride doesn't just wound your marriage. Pride sets you against God Himself. James tells us that God actively resists the proud. Imagine that. Every time you dig in with pride, you're not just fighting your wife. You're standing in defiance against the Lord of hosts.
Do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility, count others more significant than yourselves. Philippians 2:3.
Where has pride tried to ambush your marriage? And how have you fought back with humility? Share it in the comments below. Your story might be the sharpened blade another brother needs to hear. Here's your challenge. The next time pride rises, when that fire in your chest tells you to defend, to deflect, to delay, stop. Refuse its voice. Instead, choose humility. Apologize first. Close the gap before she does. Listen before you speak. Hear her heart, not just her words. And draw near instead of pulling away. Step into the moment, not out of it. Do this for 7 days. Write it down and pray over it. And watch how God not only softens her heart, but forges yours into covenant steel. Pride is the silent assassin, but humility is the shield that guards your covenant. And brother, this isn't about perfection. It's about vigilance. About entering the forge day after day, sharpening your blade, and killing the enemies at the gate before they breach the walls. This is the war season, and every battle starts on the inside. Next time, we face another enemy, selfishness, and we learn how sacrificial love disarms it at the root. So stay sharp, stay humble, and never lay down your sword. Let's get to work.